first problem of like, does it actually work?
So I'll start with how we're dealing with it. Now, Edmonton's where we're piloting this approach, and I think we're going to mimic it elsewhere in our province because we are pretty excited about the results. But let me tell you what we do first. So obviously my social services team at the Ministry of Social Services is in contact with the police. The police inform us that the encampment is coming down, and they deal with the law enforcement side of that. So deal with any elements that they may encounter in there that obviously need to be arrested, warrant issues that are taking place. They handle law enforcement. But we're there.
So they move in? Like, okay, so they come in, yeah. And what are the laws under which under what legal pretext do they move in? Why do they have the right to do this?
So two issues that we primarily use. One is around just straight up bylaw enforcement. And, there's obviously rules about you being able to just go build structures in different municipalities. And the second and more common one of late, from my understanding, is around fire safety issues. I mean, we have had some pretty serious fires and propane tank explosions. The numbers are quite staggering. And so it is a legitimate fire issue. And so the police have to come in. They're not the firefighters, obviously, but the police have to come in because of the safety issues that are involved.
Now, do you warn the people beforehand? And how many policemen do you need per number of tent city occupants? What are the logistics here?
Yeah. So the city of Edmonton has an encampment policy where they were trying to put upon the police, I believe, to provide 72 hours notice that they were going to go into those tent cities.
Okay.
This is something we actually disagreed with because the reality was that just caused people either to move. It certainly gave a heads up to that organized crime element that there was about to be law enforcement activity. And so, and there was a court case taking place in our province from some activist groups who were trying to stop the police from being able to do this or enforce notice requirements. The city of Edmonton and the police actually won that case, and that has allowed us to be able to go in and be able to address this without notice. And so what happens is obviously we're notified. We arrive with the police, and when I say we, I mean social workers and our team that are designed to support the police. They work closely with them. The police secure the area. They deal with their end of it. But at that point, we have a warm bus right there, ready to go. Everybody is offered an opportunity to be able to go to what we call our navigation center.
Okay, that's everybody. So that you offer that to everybody in the camp. And what's the biggest camp that you guys have managed to take on at a time?
Well, I think the biggest camp that I've heard of would be 350 structures since we started this process. Interestingly enough, though, you would only find probably a few dozen people actually within that tent city when we arrive.
I see. Okay, so you're looking at numbers under 100 when you're moving usually, in, and you're at, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what, 5 or 6 buses, 4 or 5 buses, something like that.
Yeah, it would depend on the circumstance. Obviously, heard of would be 3. But at that point, we have a warm bus right there, ready to go. Everybody is offered an opportunity to be able to go to what we call our navigation center.
Okay, that's everybody. So that you offer that to everybody in the camp. And what's the biggest camp that you guys have managed to take on at a time?
Well, I think the biggest camp that I've heard of would be 350 structures since we started this process. Interestingly enough, though, you would only find probably a few dozen people actually within that tent city when we arrive.
I see. Okay, so you're looking at numbers under 100 when you're moving usually, in, and you're at, okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's what, 5 or 6 buses, 4 or 5 buses, something like that.
Yeah, it would depend on the circumstance. Obviously, there'd be police intelligence, and our team would be given a rough idea of what they think is going to be coming. While we're arriving on scene, they're radioing back to that navigation center. They're saying, "Here's how many people we think we have coming in." One of the big things we have there is we have the ability for them to be able to load and totes their personal belongings. We don't want anybody to lose their stuff. We even take pets, Jordan. We can load the pets up on that bus. Couples can go together, and we get them from there to the warm navigation center, and they arrive at that navigation center. There's showers available right away. There's food, coffee, things that people may need. Obviously, it's a warm location. We also have shelter beds there for, sometimes people need to dry out or something that may take place. Obviously, there could be medical circumstances that need to be addressed. Obviously, anybody who would need a hospital, of course, we would use paramedics. We would get them immediately to emergency. But beyond that, everything else can be handled in that navigation center. And so when you get there, you interact with our staff, and then there's multiple different stations throughout it, which I'll talk about. And the genius, I think, of what we've done here is we brought, instead of trying to take this person from these tent cities all over the city to all these different services, we brought all the nonprofits, all the government services together in one spot to come around that individual. And so they'll arrive and they can get full medicals. There's there's our medical teams for the street that can deal with that, access to prescriptions. One of the most interesting things that you find that a lot of individuals in this circumstance need is ID. They don't have ID no more. So we have our ministerial colleagues over in Service Alberta who handle ID in our province. They're there right on site. They can give temporary ID immediately to these individuals, and then we can get their permanent ID ordered, all the pictures. They obviously have access then to income supports, be able to register for things that they may be entitled to that they did not know, and then ultimately towards things like temporary housing, emergency housing, and eventually permanent housing resources so they can interact with those individuals. And of course, access to drug recovery programs, which we can talk about in a moment. But that is all happening in that one location. And so we've been at this for about 3 weeks. We've seen, well over 200 individuals come out of those tent cities and actively participate in this process. We referred to over 500 different services, and we've been pretty impressed with the results of that. Now, that may seem like a small number, but given what we've been working on, this is kind of a real micro area that we're working on. But we think it's been so successful that we're getting ready to bring this right into our actual emergency homeless shelters, which are thousands of individuals, and into other areas where our social services system interacts with the same type of clientele. And again, with the goal of saying, how do we help you stop the circumstances that you're in and move forward? I also want to stress that we talked a lot about drugs today, but there's a lot of mental health issues that are taking place, including schizophrenia and some real challenges, right? These are very serious mental health issues. And by being able to come in, and we have our Alberta Health Services right around us, again, pharmacist support, we can really get some really needed things around those individuals to start to have a good conversation about what a more successful and healthy life might look like.
Going online without ExpressVPN is like leaving your kids with the nearest stranger while you go to the restroom. They're probably not a kidnapper or a serial killer, but why would you ever take that risk? Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, or airports, you leave your data vulnerable. Any hacker on the same network can steal your personal data, such as your passwords and financial details. It doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack someone. Hackers can make up to $1,000 per person selling personal info on the dark web. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that hackers can't steal your sensitive data. It'd take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. I love how easy ExpressVPN is to use. You just fire up the app and click one button to get protected. Plus, it works on all devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and more, so you can stay secure on the go. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/Jordan, expressvpn.com/Jordan, and you can get an extra 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/Jordan.
Okay, so I got a couple of questions there, and some procedural. I want to discuss some procedural issues too. Okay, so the first issue is I'm trying to imagine what it's like for someone in a tent encampment to be, let's say, displaced in that manner. And you can imagine two stories. One is that people are pretty damn pissed off that the cops have showed up and are now, tearing down their structures. But a counter story might be they're actually kind of relieved to be on a warm bus going somewhere that's actually warm, where they can have a shower and get something to eat, etc. And so what's your sense of how the tent city inhabitants themselves are responding to this intervention by government authorities and police?
flexed biceps, medium dark skin tone face with tears of joy.
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Work for dust off. We're up in 3 miles. Let's move. Guns all here. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up and grab your chutes. We're going to war zone. We're cleared hot on all threats. Watch your ass down there.
Let's roll.
Let's get it.
Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. Mark a drop point for your squad and lead them in. Down. Marking the rest of them. Enemy soldier incoming. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
Oh, whoa.
We located
Downstairs.
the rest of them. Squad mates redeploying. Well done.
Moving.
You got reinforcements inbound.
James, you there?
Here's the bounty contract. Target is EKIA. Reward drop inbound. Thank your squad mate for that one.
Deploying bomb throw.
Home drone ready for detonation.
Hostile Guardian have been deployed.
Home drone signal is off. Good kill.
Moving to my mark.
Good kill. Mark. Go get hunting. Kill confirmed, and we located the rest of them.
Got contact. Enemy movement. Moving.
Hostile Mosquito is online. Need mid-tower now.
You got gas moving in.
Yo.
Loadout drop headed your way. Your squad made it to the safe zone.
God.
Enemy marked. Copy. I see him.
Moving to my mark.
Yo. Mike.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
That one works. Why is this mode?
Enemy movement.
So, you know you like that, man.
Hostile area. Stay frosty.
Yeah, man, we like it. I'm about to play a few games. I'm about to get off too. My cousin will get back here.
Enemies deployed a counter UAV.